Every week we feature a different chef in a shoestring, creating a three-course meal on a shoestring budget. It all started back in 1997 when superstar chef Michael Lomanaco stopped by for a cooking segment with a very young-looking anchorman. Take a look.
First, I want to get the vegetables.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, as a guy who doesn't cook, and Susan is happy to tell everyone that Russ doesn't cook, this sounds very complicated, isn't it?
No. This is home cooking at its best, which actually...
Oh, my goodness. 14 years later, we've come full circle. Chef Michael is back. We haven't changed a bit.
No, it could be worse.
It could be worse, my friend. After stints at Le Cirque, 21 Club, and Windows on the World, Michael is now the executive chef and managing partner at what many consider New York's finest steakhouse, Porterhouse. Today he's prepared a delicious steak dinner that our viewers chose with their calls, all for under $40. Michael, it is fantastic to see you.
It's great to be here. You know, in the old days, it was $20.
I was going to ask you, $20.
$20 was that first budget.
I feel like my mother used to tell me White Castles used to be a nickel. I feel like that right now. What's on the menu today?
Well, we have a roasted beet salad with blue cheese and butter lettuce. We have a soy glazed London broil, which is a great cut of beef with acorn squash, and we have a great classic dessert, apple brown Betty.
Okay, sounds fantastic. Where are we going to begin?
Well, the roasted beets are a beautiful way to cook beets, and you know what? I didn't even grow up with beets, and now I love them. These are raw beets, and these are yellow beets, and these are red beets, which are very common in the marketplace. We're not using any specialty produce. These are full-size beets, you know, not little tiny baby veg, which are expensive. Yeah. These are very affordable and in season. You just drizzle them with olive oil, and they go into a 375-degree oven. The skins are still on, as you can see.
Yeah, these are substantial, as you said. These
exactly,
are not
and you know,
little boys.
Exactly, they're not little boys, but they're real beets, and you know, they run a very affordable price. I roast them for 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the size. And the best way to tell if they're done is really to just pierce them with a knife or a fork, and they're going to be tender. They slip right out of those skins. The skins come right off, like you're peeling an apple, and then you can just slice them. And I try to keep the beets, you know, try to keep the red and yellow separate, because the red just dyes everything red, including your fingertips if you're not careful.
Sure.
And the simplest salad you can imagine, it just starts with Boston lettuce or butter leaf lettuce like this, very tender lettuce. Just wash it and drain it, and then I just put a little bit of the red beets and a little bit of yellow beets, and these are, you know, the roasting concentrates the flavor.
Yeah.
You know, when you boil beets, you know, the boiling in liquid, but when you roast them, they kind of shrivel up and shrink a little bit, but the flavor gets really intense, and they get that roasted caramelization, which is a nice thing to do.
Very colorful with some cheese in that as well.
This is a little blue cheese, and you know, you're saying, well, where's the dressing? Where's the dressing? And I don't make a dressing for this, really. I drizzle with a little bit of olive oil. Again, a little extra virgin olive oil. This is the place to use extra virgin.
Excellent.
And give a squeeze of lemon juice just for flavor. That's it. That's it.
We'll try that in the back.
Roasted beets.
We'll try that in a bit, rather. The main course here, this looks fantastic.
Well, you know, London broil is just a name of a dish. It's not an actual cut of beef.
Oh, okay.
So when we say a London broil, it originally referred to flank steak, which is a little pricey.
Right.
So now there's really two kinds of London broil you can get. You can get the flank steak, or you can get a top round London broil or a chuck London broil. I like the top round.
This looks so good.
This is beautiful. It's a beautiful beefy cut because the top round is right near the sirloin. It really has great flavor. It's very affordable, and it cooks up great on a grill. I don't use the broiler.
Sure.
So what we're going to do is we have a glaze. This is the soy glaze going. I have soy in there. We're going to add some dry sherry, just sort of not a cooking sherry that has salt in it, but a sherry you might have a glass of sherry, something that's palatable. A little sugar, and then some ginger. And that's just grated ginger, and all of that goes in, and it reduces down to this beautiful glaze. And what this is, you know, just about half of the volume of that. And then we just put a little bit on the beef and adjust our seasoning. Maybe you want a little bit of pepper on there, maybe a little additional salt, and a hot pan. We're doing this on a hot pan. And that's really one of the great ways to cook this, because a broiler tends to be kind of steamy.
Sure, and how long typically will you cook this?
You know what? It's going to go in. We're going to cook 3 minutes on this side. Now, this is 2.5 pounds. It just fits in that pan. And then when we flip it...
Ooh, you can smell that soy.
Yeah, right. You can smell the soy. You can smell the ginger. And then in a minute, we're going to flip it. And when we flip it, I'm going to put the lid on. The whole cooking will take about 6 or 7, 8 minutes.
Oh, that's all?
That's all.
Oh, that's great.
Because we're going to just leave it partially open. Sort of works like a Dutch oven.
You got the final product right here. That looks fantastic.
Now look at that. That's a beautiful steak cooked in there.
Yeah.
And for slicing, that's really what this is all about, is, you know, what do you do with it after you cook it? And it's really going to be about slicing it. And you have to slice it at across the grain, you know, what they sometimes say against the grain, at a 45-degree angle. And look at this. You get beautiful slices of beef.
Can't
it's just gorgeous.
Can't wait to try that. Very quickly, dessert now. Right.
And the side dish with this is just the butternut squash with brown sugar and walnuts.
All right.
So we have some of that.
Recipe is on the website.
And the simplest of desserts, which is a classic American dessert, we use breadcrumbs, plain breadcrumbs with a little bit of butter, cinnamon, and brown sugar and apples, and we build it up in a dish like that. That's a 2-quart dish with 4 apples. There's enough dessert in there for 6 people.
Wow, apple brown Betty. Let's look at the total now and see how you did on all this. See if you did as well as you did 14 years ago, okay? He did 36.82.
That deserves a round of applause.
In fact, look at this. You are #1 now.
That's lower than last year.
Fantastic.
Congratulations. Hi.
Well, you know, you got to go in season. You go in season. Beets are in season. You know, acorn squash, apples.
It is time. They're moving me along, Michael. It is time now for you to decide what's on the menu for next week. Here are your choices. For penny with sausage, call **01. For baby back ribs, call **02. Remember, don't text. You just have to dial. And for brick-pressed chicken, call **03. Standard data and message rates apply. Betty, I bet you want some of the apple brown Betty.
I want the apple brown Betty.
Yes.
I heard my name and it was calling me. It was calling me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Russ.
Great to see you.
Great to see you all.